Hello everyone, welcome today, and it is my absolute pleasure to present to you the new event, Killing Time. I will say I already did some pulls, it didn't get hung loose sadly, so oh well. But I'm already loving this. Music, nice and jazzy. Everything's got that nice little detective noir theme to it. And maybe it's a little less noir, but more like, you know, classic Sherlock Holmes, more so. But oh man, I'm just gonna jam to the music for a minute. Damn. All right, let's go ahead and dig into this. So excited. It's been so long since we've got anything. Still no Kanto unit for Heathcliff. But I mean, they always come pretty late in the cycle, so maybe soon. But let's see. Don Quixote's laughing at something. What does this mean? What does this mean, Dante? Is she Dio? Oh, ho, ho. She's attention. Okay, Don Quixote, fine. What is it? Manager Esquire, dost thou know what the city's upstart companies, such as one Limbus company, must always pay close heed to ever-changing world around us? Hie thee hither. Read thy newspaper, Manager Esquire, and do keep thyself up to date on the events of the city, as Mersault and I, Don Quixote, do air every morrow. But just go along with it. Why don't you? I'm pretty sure she's talking about Mersault in one of his morning routines. You know, the one with the newspapers. Aha, the newspaper routine. When he wakes up before the crack of dawn, parks himself on a chair, folds one leg over the other at exactly 90-degree figure 4 leg lock position, and peruses the morning newspaper? Uh-huh. That. And I guess it left an impression on her. Betcha she'll be back to her usual self in a week or so. Hearken unto me, art thou paying attention? Yep, totally. So what's new? What, did an article mention us or something? Oh, how did thou know? Wait, really? Forsooth, feast thy eyes on page 3. Though 'tis quite regrettable that we were robbed of the chance to be on the front page. Huh? Page 3? We're really starting to put our names out there, huh? Don Quixote and Rhodia, the two senators who are guaranteed to draw the full attention of whichever space they inhabit, were speaking. It was only a moment of time before the other senators began crowding around us, curious about the commotion. Ahem, ahem. A dramatic conclusion to the mysterious disappearances at T-Corp. Shocking! The perpetrator of this mysterious case has been revealed to be none other than the prestigious Edgar family, appalling the general public. Heathcliff, of course, is sad. Well, I don't think we need to hear that part. What else does it say? With small assistance from some wandering bystanders who happened to be lost in the area, and with the most admirable heroics of the T-Corp Class 3 collection staff on the scene. Wandering bystanders, is it? Perchance this particular denomination refers to us. Bystanders? They're treating us like we were barely there. He didn't even mention our company name. Aw, come on. Those time collectors weren't even there. This is within the expected range of behavior for the news media. Yes, it is. Well, there may be one who seek to interview us after reading this very article, mayhaps. Yeah, I'm sure they'll have a grand old time looking for wandering bystanders for an interview. Very descriptive. I doubt no one will pay us much attention, Don Quixote. Better not set yourself up for disappointment, and... We were standing there for a good moment in a big group chattering about the article, and someone slowly but smoothly walked between us. Look at this guy. Excuse me, would you be employees of Limbus Company? You fellas are... I'm sure you're already aware of the reason for our visit. Oh, I welcome thee here. Long and hard have I awaited thy arrival. Now, from when shall we begin? Did Don get a request? Whoa, is she actually here to interview us? Request an interview. No way. Don Quixote wasn't just losing her mind at nothing? I was not told that any interview would be taking place. My, where'd Verd go at a time like this? Now, where'd I put that leftover hair gel from Peace Makeover? Ahem. Thou may commence. Alright then. Barely. I shan't take all the credit for what we have accomplished there. Will you be making your tax payment in installments? Oh. Hmm? Huh? Wait, what? Okay, we're clearly not on the same page here. We are the tax collectors from T-Corp's Time Collections Agency, currently on a mission to collect your overdue time tax. Those ilks are never bringers of good tidings indeed. Wait, time tax? No, that doesn't make any sense. We already paid our time tax in full when we went through the T-Corp Nest immigration process. Virgilius said a few days ago, aboard Mephistopheles. Are you sure we don't need to pick up a timepiece for each of us to carry? You probably know this already, but in T-Corp, everyone must carry a timepiece. Yes, I know the rules. But for every rule, there's always room for an alternative that offers a bit more flexibility. Of course, I don't suppose it's listed anywhere on that pamphlet. Outsiders seeking a short-term stay at T-Corp can pay the appropriate time tax for the length of their stay to be exempt from the relevant obligations instead of going out of their way to abide by T-Corp's rules. As you may have expected, anyone born outside of District 20 must go through numerous hoops before they can be issued a timepiece. So, we elected to pay 30 days worth of time tax on the spot before entering T-Corp's borders. Impressive. It can't have been cheap. Ah, yet I wish to wear a watch as well, like Lady Otis does. Haven't I already made it clear that it is not a fashion item? It's a backstory item. As I've said so in the past, the company has no budgetary concerns. It is a given that they would be taking such care of such expenses. We're finally starting to operate like a real professional company now, huh? Yeah, there must be a minor miscalculation or something. Maybe we fell short of time, the amount we had to pay. It hasn't even been 30 days since we arrived here, though. Well, I'm sure we can pawn away their stuff to fix what probably amounts to a rounding error. Easy peasy. Heathcliff muttered, gesturing towards Sinclair and Hong Lu with his chin. Hey, don't pick on him. If it'll help pay the time tax, then sure. Oh, maybe. I didn't pack much when I left, though. Well, let's hear the damage. How much time tax do we owe you? Currently, you are 10 billion, 40 million on behind the time tax payments. What? Did my hearing get worse or something? I heard 10, 40, and the rest just kind of flew over my head. For that much money, we might have to make a brief stop at my place first. What other options do we have if we don't? I mean, if we can't pay the tax. Can't pay the tax is not an option. Your only options are the following. Make your payment with time or money. With interest, of course. What the hell does making payment with time even mean? Now that I think about it, I remember someone talking about paying with time before. I never really cared to find out what exactly they meant, though. You saying, Heathcliff? Know anything about this? I have not once failed to make my payments during my residency at this nest. Thus, I know not what transpires on an occasion in which one fails to pay the time tax. I've never been involved in messy business like taxes at the manor, either. And in my backstreet days, boss dealt with complicated shite like that for the rest of us. I did see a few poor sods getting dragged away because they failed to cough it up, though. Well then. With their not-so-helpful answers, my mind immediately began to wander towards Faust, who I hoped would know something more about this than the two of them. And that's when Otis suddenly and defiantly stood between us and the collectors. This is completely unreasonable. What kind of shoddy calculations led to this nonsensical figure? Tax calculations at T-Corp are always exceptionally unreasonable. The clock's ticking, but I'd be correct to assume that you lack both the capability and the will to make your fair payments. Wait, what? We don't have to escalate this? Can we get a timeout? Your choice of words may be quite unwise. Cry all you want about not wanting to escalate things when you've got 10 billion on in your pockets. I won't recognize your opinion as anything of worth otherwise. No? Then shut up and stay out of our way till we deal with this obstacle that dares to stand in our path. Damn. How exciting. A 10 billion on death. 10 billion and 40 million on, to be exact. Okay. Virgilius, we didn't pay our taxes. Of course, it's the frickin' tax collectors that always get us. God damn it. Alright, for this, I'm actually gonna do my sinking team. You guys have seen the BL team enough, and I think it'd be fun to show this team I've got going now.
버틀러 차원 가방 준비 완료했습니다.
The music's always top tier, but man, I love the jazzy theme.
이 땅과 만유 손끝이라도 대려는 자가 있죠.
Honestly, I'm so used to the mirror dungeon variant that, like, them not being super cracked out of their minds on damage is actually a little surprising. That was a cool effect. What's that? Oh. That's not good.
전투응대에 나서.
Come on. No, come on, Otis. Come on, Otis. Please. 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 Yes. Good job.
불청객은 찌그러져 있도.
All right. Okay. Could be better. Could be worse.
당신의 판단을 따를게요. 낙인을
Stigmatize. There we go. Good stagger. At least they're endured to one. Whoa, what was that? Just teleport? That's really cool looking. That's a cool effect.
이 싸움을 끝내주겠어.
Never had only one wave. Don't need to reserve ego.
무불아위.
Come on, Gregor. Let's go. Good stuff. As you can see, my manor team is all ready for the Kanto Heathcliff. Nice. Good stuff. Hit him. Nice. Oh, reuse the coin. Reuse the skill. No. Guess her target already died. Oh well. Not too bad. Nice. Yeah, if you've got a good, like, middle dawn team, this might be the time to pull them out. That blunt damage. T-Corps staff in a different uniform approached. Stop. T-Corps staff in different uniform approach. The centers at both sides went on the defensive. Is this one their ringleader? He may be of higher rank, but he's but an employee of T-Corp all the same. Which is to say that our insistence on meeting their demands with hostility may lead to a direct confrontation against the full force of T-Corp. Lay down your weapons now. Should you refuse to cooperate, all of you present may be considered hostile individuals by T-Corp, and we will use force to... I like that. How thrilling. This is bad. This seems like a great time for Virgilius with his intimidating glowing eyes to appear. Yeah! I was wondering where they were. Man, thanks for much better between us than the guide but only a few days ago. Feels like it's been forever since then. Come on, don't glare at us like that. We had our reasons, Kay. They showed up out of nowhere and tried to extort a whole 10 billion on. 10 billion and 40 million on, to be exact. You really like saying that, don't you? Jeez. Yeah, the point is there's no way we owe them that much money. We're kind, law-abiding citizens who aren't brimming with a sense of justice. Hear, hear. I love him. Virgilius listened quietly for a moment as the sinners chattered on like they were part of a comedy skit. Yes, I agree that 10 billion on in taxes does seem unreasonable. However, it is a mystery to me how no one stopped to think for a second about the troubles you might spark by starting a meaningless scuffle like this in the middle of the street, no less. Virgilius let out a deep sigh before turning towards the teacup employee. We find it regrettable that this incident has led to bloodshed. However, 10 billion on in time tax is unacceptable. Yeah, Virgilius repping us. I'm sure you know full well that 10 billion on's worth of tax isn't the kind of money that we can simply fork over in the middle of the street. I believe that it would have been more appropriate if you had provided us with some context as to how this number came to be, instead of immediately marching up to us and demanding that we pay the time tax. I admit that such absurd amount of time tax levied upon your group is almost unprecedented. We have been summoned to an emergency meeting in an irrelevant office to address the severity of this incident. I see your point. Why don't we move this conversation to the collections office in the relevant jurisdiction area for now to discuss possible solutions? There we go. Awesome. We're not going to be taxed for our lives. Yay.
보고 계시는군요, 마님. 칭찬 감사합니다.
Timepieces.
불청객들을
Should I?
모조리 처리했습니다.
I'll decide. I'll just have to decide whether or not I craft the Honglu. We're definitely gonna get the Ryoshu, of course, but yeah, we'll see. I probably will just to do it, but I don't want to level up a new ID, man. I'm saving up. This place looks cool. The truth behind the absurd amount of time tax levied upon us is much simpler than expected. About a week ago, a large-scale unauthorized temporal leak phenomenon was observed at the Wuthering Heights Manor, which shot you up several stages in the progressive use of time tax, bracket, due to the immense amount of time leak. A temporal leakage phenomenon? It refers to a deceleration in the flow of time within a certain physical field. In your case, it wasn't even a static deceleration field. It moved all over the manor for a good while, too. We measured about 4 hours worth of time in the process. That was Dante's thing. What in the bloody hell is she blathering about? A deceleration in the flow of time within a certain, She must be referring to the moment during which Dante granted us celerity as we were in pursuit of that man at the manor. Impossible. The manager's ability was activated for less than 30 minutes. It's most likely that your 4-hour measurement is a calculation error. No. Considering the odd sensation we had experienced as we departed the manor, it is most probable that no error had occurred within calculations. Do you recall, Dante, as we left behind the manor a few days ago? Aha! Result. Is that wrong with thy daily routine? We had just returned to Mephistopheles after the incident at Wuthering Heights Manor. Most sinners were keeping to themselves, given the clear look of sorrow on Heathcliff. However, Don Quixote's ever-cheerful voice, like always, constantly shattered through the silence. I have identified an anomaly. We should have been issued the morning newspaper, not the evening newspaper. This is inconsistent with the amount of time we spent at the manor. Perchance 'twas an innocent mistake? As long as I have been a passenger of this bus, morning papers have always been delivered during designated morning hours, and evening paper have always been delivered during designated evening hours. The possibility that they have made a mistake cannot be completely ruled out. However, the likelihood of that is minuscule. Oh, now that I'm looking at it, that's a sunset, not a sunrise. Couldn't tell because of the lack of color. This cannot be. This must be the early hours of the morrow, is it not? I may have an idea as to how this inconsistency came to be. Right. The TT4 protocol. What's that? Temporal velocity synchronization device, or something like that. I've seen an advert for it once, a luxury solution to all your time synchronization needs. Enjoy equally leisurely hours together, or some shite like that. Oh, it is quite unlikely, Sir Heathcliff, to use so many complicated words in a sentence. Pray, shall someone explain it in plainer language? It's an apparatus for equalizing the velocity of time for all those affected individuals under the TT4 protocol influence. Aha! Forsooth, I thought it quite odd how someone so affluent in time was moving and speaking at the same speed as the rest of us. Then with this information, it can be included that the time we have experienced within the manor was flowing at a faster rate than the world outside. That is a coherent explanation as to why the evening newspaper, instead of the morning newspaper, was issued. Good. Now that your curiosity is sated, I don't suppose anyone has issues with tackling a new job. The LCA has sent us a new request to track down a distortion. As for more detailed information... So activating my ability within the TT4 protocol caused... yes, indeed. It was akin to tampering with an already accelerated flow of time. From an outsider's point of view, it would have appeared as though more time than what was actually spent was leaked. This bloke knows what he's talking about. Also, you didn't just manipulate time on a personal scale. Like I said earlier, you affected the flow of time within a physical space. Let me remind you that it wasn't even a static field. It moved all over that manor. Honestly, this situation is completely unprecedented. Right. They used to activate it only on special occasions, like when we had plenty of guests over for a visit, because it was so bloody pricey. So, the time tax for your inflated tax bracket, multiplied by the search hacks per volume from the physical space covered by that temporal manipulation. Yeah, no wonder it all adds up to this insane number. It ain't like we knew something like this would happen. Well, anyway, you have two payment options to settle this time tax debt. Oi, options? What options? It ain't like bags of 10 billion on grow from trees, in it? Option 1, cash payment. Option 2, time payment. Yeah, about that. What's that supposed to mean anyway, paying with time? It means... Oh. The employee, who was about to answer our question, with painfully observable annoyance, suddenly jolted at the sound of an alarm. Understood. I just got a call that they're ready to hold the emergency meeting regarding this incident. Limbus Company may send 2 individuals to the meeting to represent your company. Ah. No need to TikTok and fuss, Dante. Dealing with complicated matters like this meeting is one of my responsibilities. I will be joining them to discuss the possible solutions to this incident, so please keep the senators under control, except you, Miss Faust. You're with me. I figured. Understood. Make another mess while I'm gone, and... only Ryoshu will enjoy what comes next. Keep that in mind as you wait. Oh ho. Well, off they go, I guess. Didn't even give us a chance to ask them more questions. They're just leaving us here like this? But isn't this whole mess basically about what'll happen to us? So, this isn't anything serious, but... What's Mersal doing on the gallows? What? Mersal, what are you doing up there? I was told to stand here, so I've done so. Who told you that? I did. Just trying to be helpful with you and your friend's little time tax problem. I thought all employees were supposed to be at the emergency meeting. Whoa, a clock with legs. How fascinating. If someone were to submit you for consideration of the upcoming expo, you might even win a participation trophy. You remind me of the time when a hapless sod submitted a timepiece that doubled as a compass that had a rather tragic and critical design flaw. You could tell the time or find your path, but never both at once. Tell directions or tell time. It was one thing or another, leaving you at a loss in time and stranded in the streets. That was no good, not at all. That's no better than a clock take two compass at the end of the day. Alright. TT52 protocols operating at an experimental capacity within this office space, so don't you forget. Anyone not synced with the daily Saturn time might find this a little disorienting, so you might keep that in mind. What? Now look, that's the look of someone who never once heard of the TT52 protocol, eh? TT52 protocol, as its name suggests, is an invention to address the temporal efficiency problem presented with TT4 protocol. It's doing test runs in only a few select T-Corp offices. So if you do feel the urge to leave your impressions of this new shiny thing, feel free to jot down a few words on that bulletin. Wait a minute. Who wrote that 3-star review? That man, who we presume to be a T4 staff, seems adept at holding a one-sided conversation with zero external input. Not that any of us could keep up with how fast he was speaking anyway. Yeah, for real. Anyways, if you're ready, let's get cracking. I am ready. Wait. I don't know if it's really a good idea to be ready for something that looks like... The rope extending from the intimidating machine tightened around Mersault's throat. It's a noose. Is that what it means to pay our time tax with time? Getting hanged from the gallows? Please call it by a precise and given name. Temporal scale gallows. It measures the exact amount of time you owe, and it sucks the time right out of you. That wasn't the original, mind you. It's simply too much hubbub and hubbaloo about an excessively long name, which was approximately 58 words or letters. Can someone ask him what'll happen to Mersault? Is that thing going to kill Mersault? Kill him? Nonsense. She's a very gentle machine. That's simply preposterous. However, spoken in such a manner ought to pretends that events of greater ill fortune shall befall us. I'm not sure as to what might happen, actually. I suppose it'll suck Bentillion On's worth of time out of your friend. Stop being obtuse. What is this even supposed to mean? Is he going to be stuck like that for 10 billion hours or something? What? Well, not exactly. Let me tell you about T-Corp's particularly generous system called the 4-hour daily minimum time guaranteed policy. Pretty generous, huh? Even when worse comes to worse, every citizen is entitled to the right to enjoy a minimum 4-hour days. According to T-Corp Public Welfare Council, 4 hours is the absolute minimum number of hours in a day to guarantee human survival. Survive being the key word here. My. Sucking 10 billion and 40 ons worth of time from your friend was too much, I suppose. Look, it says measurement error. That rarely ever happens. Wait, you pulled the lever when you didn't even know what was going to happen? Just out of curiosity? Of course. 10 billion on of time tax is a historically unprecedented amount of debt. So I had to see what would happen. You could land first place in a lottery and you wouldn't even come close to making 10 billion on, and that's before taxes. I'd say you belong in a museum of history if I'm being honest. Besides, I haven't seen anyone with more than 150 hours in time tax willing to step up to the gallows before. Anyone beyond that usually chooses to run and dig themselves into an ever deeper debt hole. The point is, I scarcely expected someone in 10 billion on time tax hole to walk up just like that. What is wrong with this guy? Awaken, Mersault. Prithee, surrender not to such machinery. What? Thou art unarmed? Unharmed? I am alright. Why don't we get you down from the gallows there, Mersault? Virgilius and Faust, who returned just as the incident occurred, were both glaring at us with expressions that weren't anything but friendly. We didn't do anything, it's Mersault's fault. Oh, man. That guy talks so fast, I feel tired. Oh, well. Well, thank you for joining me on this episode. A very wonderful start to our time adventure in T-Corp. We'll pick up next episode for sure, but till then, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I am so happy to be back in action, despite having to talk so long and so much. Like I said, see you in the next episode. Bye-bye!